Hey everyone, it's Christine. Welcome to ParanormalTV if you're new, and welcome back if you're not. So I filmed this whole video and I really just liked how it turned out. I had some powder on my shirt for my makeup and I rambled far too much. So here we are, filming it again. I watched Sarah Hawkinson's video really recently, like not even an hour ago. I love the idea for this. I actually get tagged on Twitter quite a bit to do similar things. It's usually TV shows or a smaller list of movies, but she did 10 movies to get to know her. I love that idea. I wanted to do this. She did this on her Possessed by Horror channel. I cheated a little bit. I put an entire series in here, an entire franchise, because I couldn't pick just one movie from it. And I think you will understand when we get to that. I do want to say I was going to add an honorable mention and cheat a little bit more. However, I think I'm going to do a part 2 because I can come up with 10 more movies that you could watch to get to know me by. The first one is West Side Story. Growing up, I was always told that I was an old soul. I'm still told this to this day. And yeah, I've loved musicals since I was young, and I'm not talking about just loving The Wizard of Oz. I'm talking about Meet Me in St. Louis, The Sound of Music, and West Side Story. West Side Story is my favorite musical. I love this movie, and Natalie Wood is my favorite actress. I saw this when I was in about the 5th grade, and it became my favorite movie. I love the score so much in this movie. It's probably my favorite musical because of my favorite musical's score, I guess I should say. I love the score, and I love the cast. They did a great job of casting actresses and actors for these roles. Like Rita Moreno, love her. The perfect Anita. Natalie Wood is my favorite actress. Like I said, George Chakiris made the best Bernardo, who is my favorite character. Russ Tamlin was great. Everyone was fantastic in this movie, and I've loved this movie for so long. This has to be at the very top of the list, even though this is in no particular order. This has to be first. This is the first movie I think of when I suggest a movie to get to know me. This is my cheat. This is Harry Potter. I couldn't name them all. Like, I just couldn't. So I put the whole franchise in here. I don't care. I love Harry Potter so much. Harry Potter, for me, started off obviously when I was pretty young, and I have an emotional connection to each movie. I love all of them. I can't pick one. I really can't pick one. I definitely have my movies in the series that I prefer to other ones, but I can't just pick one. They all have to be in here. And I'm actually wearing Harry Potter pajamas right now. The third one is Child's Play. Hi, Lacey. Don't lick your butt. Child's Play was the first horror movie I ever watched. It's not my favorite horror movie, but it is my first horror movie I ever watched. So it has to be on here because the horror is my favorite genre. So when I saw this movie, I was 9 years old. My mom would have freaked out if she knew that I saw it. She would have been so mad. I was definitely not allowed to watch horror movies at 9 years old. I saw it at a friend's house and it just did something to me. I liked it a lot. It's not even in my top 10 today, but it's the first horror movie I saw, so it has to be included in this list. The next movie, I cannot make a list about movies to get to know me without including this, and this is Halloween Town. So growing up, Halloween Town was very important to me. I watched it every year with my grandmother. I still do. We still watch it every year. To this day, I go over my mother's house and I watch Halloween Town with my grandma every October. Growing up, she would record this movie for me and I would go over and we'd watch it. Debbie Reynolds was her favorite actress, and for good reason. Debbie Reynolds is amazing. Halloween Town was my favorite one. It's the best one. The first one is the best one. And it was such a good movie. I first saw this with my sister when I was really young, and she had told me, like, oh, it's such a good movie, you're going to love it. And I saw it at a very important place in my life, a physical place, not just the time. It was an important time in my life too, but it was also an important physical place. It's just so nostalgic and amazing, and I love it. The next one is Halloween, which I watched all the time with my other grandmother, my nan, who was my stepdad's mother. So Nan is the person who introduced me to Halloween. Halloween became my favorite horror movie when I saw it, and my favorite horror movie for years. It's very special to me because I used to watch it every year with my grandmother, Nan. We'll just call her Nan. That's what I call her. So she passed away a few years ago, and watching it, it's almost not the same anymore for me, but I still watch it. I still love it. I get upset watching it because Nan's not there to watch it with me, but I do love it still. And it's my second favorite horror movie today. It's not my first anymore. A movie replaced it. We'll get to that in a bit. The new one, I love the new Halloween. Oh my gosh, it was so good. And I wish Nan was here to have watched that with me because she would have loved it as well. Originally, I had a horror movie in place of this movie, but I changed it. The reason why I changed it was because I felt like this movie was a little bit more symbolic to me. So it is John Tucker Must Die. But the reason why I put this on here is because this movie, I loved this movie growing up. When I was in high school, I saw this movie with my cousin who was my best friend. We were like this. We went to see this movie. We loved this movie. The movie theater we went to see it at, we saw multiple movies. It's no longer there anymore. I watched John Tucker Must Die there and a few others. So that alone makes me want to put it on this list. But this was a movie that I loved so much. I owned. I went out and bought it. I still have it. I don't really watch it now, but back in the day, this was my movie. And my cousin and I we loved it. It's one of my favorite memories with my cousin, so that's why it's on this list. And also my friend Natasha and I, we loved this movie. We watched it a million times together. This was a movie where it's like, bring over John Tucker Must Die, order a pizza, let's have a girls' night. Have all the junk food, like all the junk food, a million things, and we would order pizza from Domino's because they had the 555 deal. We would binge on food and watch John Tucker Must Die, and then we would go out afterwards and just, it was such a fun memory. Oh, and face masks. We used to do face masks a lot. As opposed to Below. So at first I wasn't sure I was going to put this on here. I was going to put on a different horror movie, but As Above, So Below is my favorite horror movie. So the other movie I was going to put on here for memory purposes, As Above, So Below is my favorite horror movie. This is the movie that replaced Halloween for me. When I saw this movie, I was blown away. I didn't think it was going to be that good, and I loved it. So I love the idea of a movie being in the catacombs. So that's why I went to see it, even though I didn't think it was going to be that good. To my surprise, I thought it was amazing. It was a deep movie. There was a lot of meaning, and you had to really understand the different elements of the movie. And if you didn't, you kind of got lost. I love that it was a play on Dante's Inferno. I love that. I really like the acting. I really just, there's so much about the movie that I loved. I saw this with my husband, who I think was my boyfriend at the time, but he could have been my fiance at the time, so it was a nice memory also. The next one is Hanna, Monte Cristo. This is up there. Top 3 movies, this is up there. I love this movie. So I'm talking about the remake here, and when I saw this movie, I was relatively pretty young. I think I was probably about 12, and I kept seeing the previews for this on ABC Family. I'm like, I'm gonna watch it. And it was good. I loved it. And the book, even better. The book's even better. Highly recommend the book. Highly recommend the movie. The remake is my favorite, but both are good. This is a movie, when I put it on, my husband falls asleep, so I try not to put on too much when he's around, but it is my favorite movie, aside from West Side Story and another movie, which we'll get to in a minute. So the Scream team is very nostalgic for me. It is one of my favorite Halloween Disney Channel movies. Halloween Disney Channel movies are amazing, aside from the newer ones. And the last Halloween Town, what was that crap? So the Scream team involves Ghost, and we all know how I feel about Ghost here. I love them. So I love the Scream team. I loved Coffin Ed was my favorite. I thought Coffin Ed was so funny. I still think Coffin Ed is funny. I still laugh at Coffin Ed's parts today. I also used to watch this all the time at my grandparents' house, which was like my safe haven. I loved being at my grandparents' house, so it's very nostalgic for me. Okay, so the last one is my third favorite movie, so it's The Warriors. I am obsessed with The Warriors. I saw this when I was maybe like 13, 14, No, I wasn't even 14. I was like 12 or 13. I was young. I saw this when I was pretty young and I loved it. I was like, this is one of the best movies I have ever watched. And it's a movie that so many people love. So if you've never seen it, I highly recommend you watch it. It's amazing. I have a shirt with the movie on it, with the movie characters on there. So there's Ajax, Swan. Is Rembrandt on there? Rembrandt might be on there. I don't think Cowboy's on there. Maybe he might be on there. I don't know. It doesn't matter. What matters is that I have a shirt with the characters on there. Every time I go out on that shirt, at least one person comes up to me and tells me how much they love that movie. And it's great. So if you've never watched it, I highly, 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 highly suggest you watch it. And this is the perfect movie to round off this list for me because it is one of my favorites. So we start it with one of my favorites and we end it with one of my favorites. Like I said, if you don't want to film a video like this, if you don't film videos, please comment down below and tell me some of the movies you would recommend other people to watch to get to know you. I'm going to do a part 2 and I'm going to do a TV show one. So I'll see you in my next video.